Go ahead, Michael.
Yeah, I have a question. I hear a lot of great advice here, but I still don't know, like if I'm, a freshman in college, I mean, political science, for example, right? Like, how do I, get my foot into, these different critical areas of the business, like to start?
I think a large part of it is being really scrappy. Like, you have to want it. A lot of the people that we bring in self-started, did things on their own, built things on their own, really created things that differentiated them from other people. And then I think it's really understanding the need of the company or the people that you're applying to. If you can sort of get inside the head of the company you're applying to or the division you're applying to, and really understand what their need is, and that takes some time and work. A lot of the people, when I applied to these companies, and a lot of people that we bring on board are people who have thought about our business as much as we have. We're in it all day long, every day. The Airbnb example is like, if you come to me and say like, hey, maybe you do a partnership with Uber, you haven't thought enough about sort of what we're doing there. And so really like finding an area, a business, or a skill set where you think you can add value and being able to communicate that is hugely key. I don't think there is a magic bullet of like, you need to be excellent at Excel or excellent at a particular skill set. It's having that drive to go after it in some of those areas would be my initial thought. Anyone else?
I get this question a lot. I founded a talent firm a bunch of years ago, mostly to support portfolio companies, but as a result, I have a lot of inbound people, and I often give people a challenge that very few of them have actually taken. But a lot of people diversify when they're looking for a job. Like, well, I could do this role or that role or this role. It's very uncompelling for someone who's hiring them. It's like, I don't really care what I do, I just want to be here or whatever it is. And they think that's being open-minded, but I actually found it has exactly the opposite effect of what people want. And so to your point, I often give people a challenge. I said, okay, so you want to work in the on-demand economy, you come from a traditional logistics background, you haven't worked in, this is a real case that happened relatively recently, and I said, all right, go interview 200 drivers and find out exactly why they like or don't like or whatever, and put it into a presentation. And then rather than going to them and to a potential employer and asking that, hat in hand, help me out, reverse it and say, I've got information I think you'd be really interested in hearing. And every person who's ever taken me up on this challenge, which requires real work that differentiates not just a little bit, but like 5 or 10 times more what anyone else has done, but focusing more narrowly, every single one of them has gotten interviews at almost every place they wanted and has gotten their dream job. And so my advice is typically to double, triple, quadruple down on yourself and really do the work that really sets you out on being thoughtful about what the company does, understanding the end market, etc. And when we recruit, we're very outbound recruiting. We're not scaling a huge team, etc. But it's incredibly high quality people. And what I always look for is the intersection of the functional role of what we do and the passion of what they've chosen to do, that they've opted in for the job without even knowing it. So for me, I didn't just look for the technical skills, but I looked for people who had the technical skills and had already sort of pre-selected for the specific sort of domain skills that we were looking for. So in our case, it's a combination of data analytics and infrastructure and software plus investing. And so my CTO, not only did he run Gmail and 8.5 years at Google, highly quantitative, all the technical skills, right? But he also founded the prediction markets. He was also, an angel investor on the side. Like those types of things is the intersection of those two things. And it's like, well, now you get the chance to do all the functional things that you'd wanted to do, plus the diversity to sort of scratch that other itch at the same time. And we had an unbelievably high conversion rate on people who sort of hit on both those points. So I would literally cross-reference people's resumes with like AngelList and see who was already advising companies, who was already in their spare time choosing to do what we did. And so like in the case of Airbnb, who are top engineers who also happen to be travel enthusiasts, right? Or whatever it is, who happen to be chefs, in addition to and the probability that you're going to get people who are not just mercenary and there for the equity or whatever, but are passionaries about what the company is doing, in addition to the functional role, it creates a much better culture and much higher retention, et cetera, in my experience.
Dylan?